We're doing it, boys. Episode number 2.
Episode 2.
Haven't been canceled yet.
We're still here. Just happen to wear the same clothes too.
Yeah. Weird. You know, if anyone knows me, that's not a surprise.
Yeah, no. I own 3 pairs of jeans, maybe 2.
I have 2.
And I'll cycle those things out for 3 to 4 years till they tear open at the crotch or something like last time.
That
I
was
walked
back
in
to
the meet last time. I just tore open. And I'm like, and I went to Moore's, bought new ones on the spot, put them on there. I'm like, just take the tags off and pay you right now, and I'll run those things to the dead.
Yeah.
So I run. They're all dark blue jeans, the same as I wore back in the '90s.
I have a pair that I wear that are like my nice jeans because they're like fashionably faded and have like 2 like stress marks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I have another pair that I wear on set.
Are they low risers?
Mm-hmm.
They're low risers with the tears.
My other pair is just like a generic blue pair that I wear on set.
Yep.
Where you just
I'm a simple man with a simple wife, a plain wife, and a plain house.
simple Jack over here.
Lace up your chucks and pull up your panties. You're listening to Strong and Petty with Devin, Dave, and Tyler.
just a simple drink, plain, no sugar.
Yeah.
Plain, old-fashioned dress wife.
Yeah.
That's what I have, right?
Yeah, that's good.
My little Hutterite.
Good.
Just racist.
Gun collecting.
Yeah. Plain
Prohibition
flat black
liquor.
guns. Yeah. Plain moonshine, no flavor.
Yeah. Well, if you survived episode 1, welcome to episode 2 of Strong and Petty. You're listening to Dave Beakley, Devin Penner, and Tyler Sigurdsson. Welcome back, even though we never left.
Yeah, it feels like we never left.
You might have as a listener, but we're still here. We ended last episode starting to get into why we were lifting and whatnot, and how we got into coaching. Who are some guys that you mentor? You take their word in. You want to be like them. You want to or wanted to be like them. They can kind of do no wrong. Like there's every coach steals from other coaches.
Oh,
but
nothing's new in the
nothing's new.
These coaches with these new programs and trying to sell it online to I swear if you do this program, your tits will grow 3 sizes. It's just like, give me a break.
But,
mine have grown 3 sizes.
Yeah, you've got great tits.
Yeah, so I'm going to say a big shout out to Banana Boat for their amazing ice cream that I indulge in.
Best ice cream place in the city.
For me, Banana Boat.
Where is that? Henderson?
Sage Creek. They got a new one. So what had happened, I'm a bit of an ice cream connoisseur.
Okay.
That's what I think anyways. So, and I got in trouble for this, but so Niverville had opened a Dairy Queen. So I'm a sucker for Royal Reese Brownie Blizzard with the liquid peanut butter inside. And I hit those up, right? And I'm also lactose, so it's a gamble. I have to wait about usually.
Me too.
Yeah, I usually wait to start eating about 20 minutes from home. I really start indulging in my ice cream because I know I'm within striking distance of that toilet.
Yeah.
And then I just don't talk to the kids or wife when I get home, and I just run and I just.
But that's every night.
Check my Instagram. Yeah. Yeah. So
Shit, my brain.
Niverville went and put up a Dairy Queen, which just so happens to be exactly on my route home if I detour.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point that I was going there so often the last summer here that I went in. So I brought the wife there one day, and I went inside to order. And I just go to the drive-thru. And I went inside to order. And I went to order. The lady's like, "Oh, yeah, Royal Reese Brownie." And I'm like, she recognizes my...
Was it the eyes?
She recognizes my voice from the drive-thru.
Yeah.
And they knew my order. And Danielle looked at me and she's like, "How often do you come here?" Because anything I do, and the wife knows this, so it's no secret, I can say it. I do everything in cash. I hate banks. And so everything I do outside of like... That I don't want the wife to just cash everything. Cash. So... I guess there was no receipts backing up how the once every couple of weeks I went to Dairy Queen. And it just happened, this girl obviously recognized voices from once a month, right? Like, she obviously had a photographic memory of sounds, if that's how that works.
Yeah. I like that. Devin's what like a lot of my friends would call an insane libertarian, like a crazy right wing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I like to consider myself center right.
Yeah.
I went there once 5 years ago, and she remembered my voice. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we didn't even make eye contact. So now I've been on this Banana Boat trend. Someone they built one in Sage Creek, and And I hit it up. I was there Monday night. My buddy Russ wanted to go for ice cream, and I'm like, well, Steinbach's this distance, but Winnipeg. So we ended up shooting back in Winnipeg. And then I was on the way home Thursday from work, and my service manager, and he's also a business partner of mine in one of my other companies, I called him up, and he just so happened to subconsciously mention Banana Boat through my mouth. It was weird because I heard his voice, so I said it. And then we
That's gross. I just imagine you just like, and him whispering into your mouth.
I looked at him like, did you just say Banana Boat? And he's like, and he knew, like, if he didn't say it, it'd probably kick him on the track. So I hit it Wednesday too. And then I forgot Danielle had supper ready for me when I got home.
Did you say you want to fuck? He's like, no, I said you want to get ice cream.
So I slammed this fucking stupid parfait that I keep ordering there, and I just rolled into home, and I didn't quite finish
Parfait guy, hey?
Oh, yeah, well, because you got peanut butter parfait Dairy Queen.
Are you a parfait guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's either that or the Royal Reese Brownie Blizzard, but so Dairy Queen has the peanut butter parfait, which is the classic. That's my dad always ate that, and I kind of eat that. But Banana Boat has the Spanish parfait, which is like the peanut butter parfait on steroids.
It yells at you.
Yeah.
Parfait guy. I wouldn't imagine that. I can't imagine going to Dairy Queen and getting anything besides a Blizzard. That just seems like insane to me.
That's just the one thing you should get is a Blizzard, right?
Yeah, I mean that's all I would ever get there.
But
I fucking love a Blizzard.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Well, there's got to be a
big
Dairy
Blizzard
Queen
guy
around here, right?
There's a Dairy Queen around everywhere.
Yeah.
I usually know every location.
Where's the closest Dairy Queen?
But you got
Oh, look at him playing dumb.
Lo and behold, St. Patel is literally somewhat out on my way home.
Be closed now, probably.
Brett James from Whiskey Tango Podcast playing dumb. Oh, what's a Blizzard?
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm a
Get
Banana
back
Boat
behind
guy.
the computer.
Banana Boat guy now, and the Spanish parfait is it's unreal.
What's the Spanish parfait?
So it's got Spanish nuts, which are different than regular
love
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get stuck in my beard, and I just
you're a
kick
big
for
nut
later.
guy.
Yeah, because so I chose this podcast.
Cream filled nuts.
Yeah, it's like two guys. Yeah. So that's
that
the best
Cholula
ice cream
sauce?
now. Hey?
Cholula sauce.
It's like super spicy. It's really good.
That would be rough. No, we'll try it. I'll take you guys around.
Yeah.
I swear. I'll bring you guys.
So Banana Boat, what's your go-to?
For ice cream? I'm a man of pretty simple pleasures. I just go to McDonald's and get a McFlurry usually or whatever.
When it's working.
What's that?
When it's working.
Yeah, when it's working.
You ever
Yeah.
hear the rumor like 20 years old? Never tell me if I'm wrong, but I've just like when I was like 10.
You're wrong.
That they like grinded up chicken feathers to make the McFlurries.
No, that's true.
What?
That's absolutely
It's
true.
right, not a true thing.
No, that's true.
Supposedly, that's what's in there.
What?
I don't know. That's not true.
Dude, that's what I was a kid. And I'm like, my whole life I was just stuff. I'm
There's
like,
no
I
way.
ain't eating chicken feathers.
That's like those things where it's like, hey, do you know that Mountain Dew makes your dick small? It's like that's like one of those urban legends that
I believe that.
and I've never heard that
I've
urban
drank
legend to
Mountain
be
Dew
100%
once.
clear. I've never fucking
No,
I've
it's a
never
country
heard that
thing.
chicken thing before.
The chicken feathers. I don't know, man. McDonald's. I mean, man, they'll leave their food out for 10 years. The shit doesn't mold.
Yeah, I mean, I keep it simple with that, or I just go and buy like when I was doing my CSM prep, what you call prep and strongman was I would have 4 waffles, and then I would dump a pint of. A pint? Is that like the circular one? A pint of ice cream in that, and then cover that in sauce, and then put blueberries or whatever on that.
For health, the blueberries.
Yeah,
Balance.
exactly. Yeah, a little bit of fiber in there.
Yeah.
And then that was like my evening treat.
And a Slurpee.
And a Slurpee, yeah.
Fantastic. Ben and Jerry's.
But I'm not lactose intolerant, so I can eat it all I want.
I love
Ben
that.
and Jerry's. When you get a pint of ice cream.
Yeah.
The Tonight Dough.
I don't like the politics of Ben and Jerry's, so I don't support it too much. But I when it's on sale, I buy it. But I try to get like the cheap shit.
I've never heard the politics.
They're pretty pretty crazy lefties.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes that. Fucking
Yeah,
shit.
they're kind of like I don't know because they're like 2 old hippies. I think is the idea. That's why it's like Cherry Garcia is one of their things, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like a Grateful
which
Dead thing,
which
whatever.
is one of the best ice creams.
It's really
ever.
good, and that's the thing is like that's where like I don't feel strongly enough about anything for it to change my life and how I take things in. So if anybody's like, oh, you know, that comedian is a rapist. I'd be like, yeah, he's funny though. Like he makes me laugh. And so
He
someone's
literally
like,
has the best rape joke.
yeah. So if somebody's like, hey, that
They
ice
literally
cream,
sound true.
that ice cream doesn't really align with your politics. I'll be like, oh, but it's fucking tastes really good though. So
But
Tyler
Ben and Jerry's is where we draw
Ferguson,
the
big
line?
Dane Cook fan.
Ben and Jerry's is where we draw the line?
I'll buy it if it's on sale. If it's on sale, I buy it. But it's so expensive. It's not. To me, it's not worth the extra money.
$10 for
Yeah. It's not.
And I
always
always
worth
get
the money
the
for me.
Tonight Dough and Jimmy Fallon.
So Jimmy Fallon, another guy. I don't really support,
Yeah, I
support the
know.
old politics of that guy. So.
You might know this place just because of where you grew up. Licks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Double score
Well, that's an ice
flurry.
cream place.
Yeah.
Licks.
Or you guys grew up. I'm like, there's no way Licks is an ice cream
Oh,
place.
no. It's an
I
ice
just
cream place.
picture a tongue
Yeah.
with two lips.
Licks.
Yeah.
That's what I picture when I hear that
It's
shit.
like teasers, but for the South End.
yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy Bob's?
Double score blizzard with hot fudge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Give me a score blizzard anywhere, anytime. And also, I don't do well with the lactose
Are you
situation.
a score guy?
Oh, do I love
Like
score.
everybody always see, I'm a trifle guy. And everyone always makes score trifle.
I love score too.
Score trifle? You guys do score trifle?
Trifle.
Trifling
Anybody
ass
make
bitch.
trifle? It's like a giant fucking bowl of cake and pudding. and
Truffle?
whipped cream. Trifle.
Are you trying to say truffle or you say
Trifle. Trifle. Have you guys never had a trifle?
trifling is when you're like if you're a black guy, you say to your girlfriend, you trifling ass bitch.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near black.
but
There's nothing on my body that relatively is not even a childhood
I don't
black.
think trifle.
The only
is
time you're
is
near black is when you're watching one with your wife.
when I walk in on one. That's not me.
Submissive bear cut.
And what? How am I going to compare with that after?
What's a trifle though?
You guys never had a trifle? I'm legit.
Trifle on pizza?
Danielle, when you listen and watch the episode, which you
I'm looking
better
up
listen,
trifle right now.
I'm going to bring you guys a trifle and a strawberry pie.
I'm gonna search up trifling ass bitch and see
So
what comes
those
up
are two
first.
appetizers the wife is, along with the whole array of things.
Oh,
she's amazing at. guys.
Describe what it is though. I don't
Trifle, so
understand
it's
what
a big ass bowl.
Hold on.
Of,
Trifle is a layered dessert of English origin. The usual ingredients are a thin layer of sponge fingers or a sponge cake soaked in sherry or another fortified wine, a fruit element, custard and whipped cream layered in that order in a glass dish.
so we do it with pudding and everything else, and then a big layer of whipped cream, and then score bits over it, or whatever you want. You throw some cherries in there.
it sounds awesome. But I've never had that before.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you guys, next episode I'm gonna have a whole.
Look at
fucking bowl
Mr.
of this
Cultured.
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it wife self.
Is that like a is it like a rural thing, do you think? Like,
Maybe.
Why have you heard of that, not us? Not that we've heard of fucking
Maybe it's a-
everything, but I just
maybe
mean like,
Maybe it's a colony thing.
We
maybe
know
that's,
our.
that's kind of what I was thinking, honestly.
so
It was,
it's-
if you're watching this, you know our desserts.
yeah.
Looking at your guys, looking at your size, how the fuck have you never ate a trifle?
I don't know. I should have, obviously.
He's more Nordic than English.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so. Yeah, no, it's you guys, it's amazing.
No, now
It's gonna
I'll
blow your mind.
have to look into it.
I will so bring one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You better be ready.
But score and ice cream, I don't think there's a better combination. I grew up a Smartie Flurry guy
Yep.
because I think kids just like Smarties.
Smarty McFlurry.
Colorful.
Smartie
Yeah,
McFlurry.
that's what I always ate.
But your palate develops as you get older, and you can't beat score.
Your palate develops.
I have a very mature palate.
Wow, do you get culturalized or cultured
Yeah,
as you get older?
you can start to grow up a little bit.
that's
Then
cool.
you're like, I like
Smarties.
this chocolate bar instead
Yeah.
of that chocolate bar.
Yeah. But then when you want to double down,
That's what I felt like when I went to dark chocolate. I was like, oh man, am I getting old?
score flurry.
You like dark
Always double
Oh, I
score.
love dark
I
chocolate.
love dark chocolate.
Are you
too.
serious?
I love dark chocolate.
Holy shit.
The race thing? Or?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's gross.
Dark chocolate, hazelnut, dairy milk.
I don't.
Maybe it was after I walked in on the wife, but I really
I
got into dark chocolate.
don't know, man. Dark chocolate. I'm not about it.
I also got into the old cheddar. So it used to be only mild cheddar cheese, and now I'm into like 10-year-old cheddar.
Oh,
I do like an old cheddar too.
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
Too
Dude,
sharp.
I went. No, I
Too
went.
sharp. Too sharp.
Shit.
Too sharp for me.
Your taste buds even work at your age?
Huh? Well,
Too sharp.
too
The shit
sharp.
crumbles. Like the stuff I like, it crumbles in your hand. I went to Fernie and they got a cheese shop in Fernie, and I hit that place every day. I was there. I got a grilled cheese there and everything. So they make, and they got like old cheddars from around the world, from like Italy and also like 14-year-old. It costs a lot of money, but man, I was pretty excited about that place. I would literally drive back to Fernie just to get cheese. Maybe that's
Bold.
a little drastic.
Bold. I challenge you
Man,
to do.
I drove back there. I drove back there in December to pick my work up. Who was stranded in the mountains overnight.
Yeah,
So I mean, come on, I did that for free. I had to go get some cheese.
that.
Yeah. I did a 30-some-hour round trip without sleeping to go pick his ass up.
See, I'm a marble cheddar guy.
Marble.
Pretty basic marble cheddar.
Yeah, I'd go that with that.
Pretty basic. I'm not a huge cheese guy. You know how
Would you
people
believe me if I
love.
told you I had like 20 pounds of marble cheddar in my fridge?
Well, I'll believe you. Just bring me some.
It's not like unbelievable, but it is weird though.
I got 1 pound blocks, like 20 in my fridge.
Really?
Yeah, I cooked from the wife's family. We just get blocks of it. We buy them, and every night for bed, I just cut a wrap. I just break a chunk off, and I'm lying in bed, and I'm just
The
eating a
naked
block
fat
of cheese.
kid crying in his living room.
It always looks short. I'm just chowing on a big piece of marble
Break
cheese.
off some cheese, get a quick cry on the floor, and then off
and then
to bed.
and then I quickly, because I got narcolepsy, I just quickly fall asleep, and then all the lactose damage only comes out in the morning.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you wake up first.
Maybe. That sounds like an ish her, not an ish me. I don't do laundry.
Yeah.
You fall asleep like right away.
Hey?
You fall asleep like right away.
Within a minute.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I eat that shit, and it's just...
It drives Jan crazy because
Yeah.
I'll be like, I remember one time specifically, she like tells me this, that I was like just pestering her and bothering her, and she was like, "Fucking go to sleep," and I was like, "Okay," and I just rolled over and immediately went to sleep, and then she was like laying there just like, "God damn this asshole!" Like,
And then
she's-
you start snoring?
Yeah, she's
And then she
exactly,
can't
and then
sleep?
and she's sitting there all just like frazzled and bothered now, and I've just like gone to sleep and just like
Yep.
took the wind out of her sails.
I've done that. Bugged the
How are you gonna be mad at me? I did what you asked.
Yeah.
You said go to sleep, and that's
Or
exactly
rile the
what I
wife
did.
up. She thinks she's getting some. Then you go to sleep.
Yep.
Psych!
So that's a great lead into our mentors.
Dairy Queen ice cream and cheese.
Yeah.
And a trifle. Yeah, I mean, those all are, from our mentors. I swear that Darren Mailing would definitely eat a trifle.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's listening. I'm sure you've eaten trifle
Yeah. Darren's probably out there looking for brand new podcasts.
to listen to.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much up these
He
days.
probably has a lot of free time.
Yeah, he's
looking
probably
to fill it
not a
with
busy
podcasts.
guy.
Yeah.
Toronto's dead.
But you know what? Since we're talking about food, what about fast food? What's your go-tos?
Okay, so I think I've been a Wendy's guy the last while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I may indulge in a Baconator or 3 a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah. Anytime that Danielle doesn't make my lunch, because she makes all my
Fucking
food.
bitch.
I'm telling you guys, like she's on her fucking last leg. Like,
Big Ray Rice guy over
yeah.
here.
When I just get to work, I'm like, oh, I don't have chicken breast again. Lo and behold, I go to Wendy's. I'm disappointed because I really don't need. I shouldn't be there, and she knows that.
It's either chicken breast or bacon.
Yeah, and she just sets me up for failure too. Like, oh, Devin, it was in. She'll tell me it's in the fridge, but not tell me it's in the red container. Right. So I grabbed the blue one, which just happens to be empty.
What is your job around here? Is what you should ask her. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here?
Besides mowing the lawn, taking care of the kids, running the gym.
But you got her new scissors for the lawn.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and it's only 2.4 acres. Yeah. Like the average person back in 1800 did that in half a day.
Yeah.
Still had time to cook food for the 18 kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's a little slack. But I like the Baconator. Wendy's fries with the sea salt's actually pretty good, but McDonald's fries are always like, it's the greasiest shit you can eat. So I've always said, like, hit up Wendy's for the Baconator, go grab the McDonald's fries, and then the strawberry lemonade at Wendy's is the bomb for a drink.
I do like that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the large every time because who's going to order a medium meal? It doesn't even make sense. You're going to indulge, you're going to indulge.
I always, just as an aside, I always liked McDole told me this one when we were coming back from the chicken barn, and we would stop at George's in Morris.
Yeah.
And the rule was that anytime you were offered something, if you were offered any kind of like an upsize or a side or bacon or cheese or whatever on your food, you had to say yes. Yeah. And that was like one of the weight gain tricks that like all of a sudden you snuck in like fucking 1,500 extra calories in because you didn't want cheese and bacon on it, but now you're having it. You didn't want the fries as a side, but now you're having it. You didn't want to upsize the whole thing, but now you're doing that.
Yeah.
And that was always an effective tool in making yourself feel like shit.
Oh, I feel like dog shit. Every time I eat that shit, I go back to the office, sit my ass in my freaking office chair again, and just wonder, oh man, why did I do this again?
Yeah.
And then just struggle for the next hour or two till I leave. But what's your favorite fast food? Well, what's yours? You haven't said it either.
This sounds so lame.
The flamethrower is pretty good too.
Mine's a boring answer too. So
Yeah.
McDoubles.
I'm a double cold cut with bacon from Subway.
Oh really?
Foot long.
Wow.
But I get cookies and chips.
Cookies and chips.
Cookies and
Which
chips.
cookies? Wait, macadamia nut?
No, I'm the M&M. or double chocolate, depending on what
because
they
don't have score.
Because they don't have score.
Yeah.
Whenever I get Subway cookies, I eat those things first.
So do I. Before myself.
So
fucking adult. And I can do
So
whatever I want.
the trick is you eat the cookies on the way home.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get home, you eat the sub,
Yeah.
and then you eat the chips and drink your drink.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
because yours is cold
a
so
strong
it's not going
move.
to get
Yeah,
any colder.
Yeah.
that's a strong move.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I always eat the cookies first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole model for my whole life is you eat the cookie first.
Yeah.
Take that with what you want.
My this like the reason I say it would be boring for me is because this year I made like a New Year's resolution, I guess, to like not eat fast food anymore.
Is that why you've been looking a little more jacked?
That's
I seen
why
that
I've
photo
been-
from last week. I'm like, you got delts.
I've been a little more svelte because of that. But it's been me and my girlfriend kind of did it together. We decided we were going to try to for really more for just like the money of it because so before this I would get fast food literally almost every day. Because I was just like
Which is
trying to gain weight.
$20 a day.
Well, that's the thing is that there's no like, you go to McDonald's now, you spend $15, right? But I would get. I remember that probably my hottest period for fast food was there was when I was working at McDonald's, there was a place next door to us that was like a customer service place, right?
I can't remember the name.
But they would call. It would be like they would be like hired by companies to receive calls.
Yeah, it was a call
for
center.
complaints, call center,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I trained one of the guys from there who was like a manager, and
I
one
forgot
day
about that.
he brought in this stack. Like I swear it was like the size of like a phone book of these like free, no purchase, free Whopper coupons.
What?
So I would use 2 of those every fucking day. Every day I would go get those, and there was like
And it was free.
and there was enough there for like they lasted me for probably 6 months. I ate 2 every day.
Good Whopper's hard to beat, though.
That's right. And then I maintained that streak. That would have been like 2017 until like this year. I maintained that basically of eating fast food almost every day.
Yeah.
And now that I'm not doing it as much, like
I'm the one checking my heart for cholesterol problems.
well, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of like I said. It's kind of like it's a boring answer to be like, oh well, no, I'm so much healthier or
Whopper's the
whatever.
best?
But like,
Yeah.
when I was doing it, Wendy's for sure, no question. Wendy's,
Wendy's,
or like
Baconator?
yeah,
Yeah.
or to go in a direction you probably aren't expecting, Popeyes.
Popeyes
I
chicken.
fucking
Oh.
love Popeyes.
Man, I've been eating a lot of Mary
Popeye's
Browns.
chicken sandwich.
You know
the
what-
chicken itself is kind of like the strips are kind of gross.
Yeah.
But if you get a good
Chicken.
the sandwich, ooh, beautiful.
I've been Mary Browns lately.
Mary Brown's is
fucking
better than
good, too.
Popeyes.
Yeah.
Mary Brown's is fucking
Yeah,
good.
I ate that today actually for lunch.
Popeyes had all the hype.
Yeah.
And corner of River Osborne.
Yeah.
The Mary Browns there.
Yeah, that shit was real.
Well, it
good,
just so
too.
happened Sage Creek put a Mary Browns right across from Banana Boat. So I sometimes send my
like
nephew
one
to
hand
one,
in one and one
I
hand
hit
in the other.
one, and then we meet back in the truck. And then it's like balanced, right? And then there's Supplement King is beside that, so then I just grab like a shake.
Yeah.
You go get your fat burner.
Yeah. It's my thermogenic. I remember, speaking of surgery, dude, I remember this guy last year. I was talking to it wherever the hell he was. I don't know, it was New Year's party. I was drinking anyways, but this guy was telling me he was working out one time, or he was working out for months, and he got so big and so ripped on thermogenics. His trainer just he's like, yeah, this guy gave me thermogenics. I just got jacked. Like it was like steroids. Like thermogenics did that to you? Yeah, you guys. He's like, these thermogenics. I had to stop taking them because it was just.
Was getting too
I was just
jacked.
getting jacked. I'm like,
I hate when I get too
Yeah, I was
jacked.
getting
that
too
is
My
the
number one
life
problem.
is
Yeah.
thermogenics.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That's great.
Like,
Wow.
yeah,
Good
I'm gonna
advocate.
add that to my marble cheese before bed.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. I had to stop though because I was just like I looked like fucking Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
I was too huge.
Yeah,
Like
didn't cheat on my diet at all because why would I cheat?
yeah.
I have thermogenics.
I have thermogenics. What else do I need?
There's the Big Mac chicken.
Anybody tried it?
I have not tried it yet.
I haven't had, and I'm not like holier than thou. I haven't had McDonald's in probably a decade.
Well, I like Big Macs.
That was always my go-to. It's right in the corner by the
Yeah,
gym.
the double
so
Big
I go
Mac
there
meal.
every day, yeah.
Because you need a double to get any form of meat from
And
McDonald's.
now they have a points app. So if you collect points, you get a lot of free food real fast, especially if you're buying it every day.
Do you
Yeah.
know?
You get what's that?
You know.
What's that?
You know you do, yeah. Like you're speaking from experience.
Yeah, yeah. Like I got a lot
I don't know if you
of
guys
a lot
follow-
of free fucking
I don't know
food
if
from
you're
there.
friends with my brother Kyle on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you?
I think so.
They have been on a rampage since that new Big Mac came out with
Yeah.
the chicken. Him and my Uncle Dale and my cousin, like, I think they went there 3 times the first day.
Amazing.
And they've hit it up every day since. I haven't been there yet. I feel kind of like I'm letting my family down, my heritage.
Yeah.
But dude, it's one of my friends, an old kid, old guy I went to school with. Like this is 20 years ago. He had comments. I was like, he's like, between the advertising on the highway and your guys' Facebook post, I'm now headed to McDonald's to get this. He said, that's all
I want to try it though.
Yeah,
Well, they're open 24 hours.
I'll break my. There's one right by my house.
And there's one on, lo and behold, St. Patel on my way out.
That's the one right by my house.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should almost meet there after.
Parking lot chicken.
Parking lot chicken Big Macs.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a trick with the Big Mac sauce, right?
Yeah.
Actually, well, there's to give a little local plug, the Handsome Daughter, the chicken place they have inside there.
That's the best chicken.
So they have their chicken place is called Magic Bird inside of it, and they have a sandwich
I haven't.
It's amazing, and they've been doing this sandwich. It's called because their cook is called Mike, or his name Mike. So they could call it.
He's called Mike.
He's called Mike.
Can't give his government
that's
name.
Not his real name, but they call him Mike. But they call the sandwich the Big Mike, and it's everything that's a Big Mac, except for they replace the burger patties with fried chicken thighs.
Really?
Well, they're open tomorrow before you leave, right?
It is good. Tomorrow? Yeah.
Just ask you.
Oh, yeah. Before I come to your place, yeah, for sure.
But like if you're somehow in the area. He brought me one, though, him and Jan one time, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
That was good chicken.
They're always very good to our
And I met the owner at your gym the other day, finally.
Yeah.
And I had to give him props. Like, whatever you're doing there.
Yeah.
Fun comment that you just made. This has been a training thing for me for a long time. Is you drive out to train at Devin's, right?
Yeah. Here,
on occasion, yeah.
More in the in-season kind of thing, but yeah.
But you're so dedicated to your training that you'll make that trek, and you probably don't think twice about it.
Yeah, sure.
It's just part of your training.
Yeah.
For years, and this was like the gym owner in me. People would switch gyms for price or proximity.
Yeah, $5.
And having a large number of friends in the U.S. This is powerlifting. They would move states to train at a better gym.
They slept in parking lots to train at gyms.
And it was always so frustrating to hear people like, I want to do this, I want to do that.
But I won't drive 10 minutes longer.
I won't drive 10 minutes. Winnipeg, like, you're on the other end of the city, and you're like, our city is tiny.
Literally, the furthest that you can be is like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like the furthest you can really be.
Which is damn closest for me to get to a damn grocery store where I live.
Yeah.
Well, and this will go to the business side of things for me, because obviously business owner, a couple business. What pisses me off, if you go to a, somebody going to fucking rant here. When
Let's
you go
go.
when
Buckle up.
Yeah. When you go on a money aspect, because I have members at my gym and they'll support a different gym where the same disc parkers are $5 cheaper, or even if they have to travel further. I get members who'll travel further to another gym because they're $5 cheaper.
That's Mennonite.
At the cost of fuel right now, cents per kilometer on maintenance, which no one but let's face it, these people aren't that smart to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? They don't analyze things like, obviously I analyze a lot of things down to the dollars, all percentage. And if you're a strength coach, everything should be based on percentages and dollars, not dollars, but percentages and numbers. Everything should be. If you're not analyzing things based on percentage, if you're not doing your programs based on percentage, then you're not a strength coach, because strength is based on percentages. You can't just jump numbers. You can't jump 30 pounds in a lift just because, it's only 30 pounds when it could be a 30% increase, right? So these people drive to a different gym to save $5 or $10 in membership, but they put on 7 kilometers each way.
Yeah.
14 kilometers a day. They hit it 4 days a week, right? So what's that? 56 kilometers a week.
Yeah.
You times that by, so in a month they're putting on 224 extra kilometers.
Plus valuing your time.
Exactly it. So you're like, well, my time's worth money. So if you're worth, let's say, $20 an hour, but your overtime's worth 30, because now if you worked longer in the day, as in your gym time, you'd get overtime. So the extra 14 kilometers cost you whatever it's going to be, 8 minutes and whatever else, over a course of 4 days in a month. Over a course of a month is 2 to 3 hours of driving extra to save $10.
Yeah.
You didn't save shit.
You
just cost yourself a couple $100, and now your car is going to be finished off about 3 or 4 months sooner in its lifespan because you chose to save $5.
Yeah.
But no one analyzes that, and that's the business side of things with me. I will. And maybe the whole COVID bullshit did this to me, is I started really supporting local.
Whoa.
Did you say that COVID was bullshit?
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
But what I was going to say to add to that would be like, and this is not for Gen Pop people, to like what I'm saying right now. This is for people who are claiming to want to do something in strength sports. I really do want to stress that, because I'm not talking about somebody's mom who's like, I'd like to try a new gym, and then they're like, well, I want to go to a place that's closer to me. Of course, I understand
that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But we're talking about people who are trying to get better at something, and or they at least claim they are. you can always tell when somebody is like a total homer, like they've never left maybe never even left the city, but never left the province.
Quadrant.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't realize that it's like, okay, so if you go to, say, Minneapolis, like Minneapolis, the city is actually like a pretty small, concentrated area with suburbs all around it.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to go to, there's like a really great gym called Los Campeones in Minneapolis. So if you're trying to go there, you might live 30 minutes away in Bloomington, whatever, like just as an example, where you have to drive that 30 minutes and you will do it without fucking blinking because that's just the way that it is. If you lived in Toronto or, one of the surrounding areas, you would drive that every day to go to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Winnipeg, you can always tell when someone is very, very, like I said, like a real Winnipegger, never really done much in terms of like just like going around and seeing things, because the idea that you would drive 15 minutes to a gym is fucking nothing if you're serious about trying to get better at something.
Oh, when I'm serious about the sport, I'm not going to drive to the gym, but I'll sign up for an out-of-province competition.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, you need to kind of take a step back and realize that like driving and whatever, ultimately what this really reveals is that you just don't give a shit. Yeah. And that's really the bottom line. It kind of stops there.
Yeah.
But what people need to realize though is that if you think that you give this shit, you think that you care about these things, is like, look at what your peers are doing in other countries and provinces and cities and whatever.
Get outside of your sandbox.
Exactly. The sacrifices that they're making to be able to train at a gym they like or train at a gym they want to go to. Because I can tell you right now, even in Toronto, there's not that many strongman gyms.
No.
I've visited there enough times trying to find a gym, and it's really fucking hard. So if you're trying to do strongman, you're going to travel. Yeah. And that's in Toronto. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
there's very few places that have a gym in vicinity of mine and yours in that close of vicinity.
Yeah. And
even though we're an hour apart.
Yeah.
You can't find a gym like mine. Not a big plug for, but you can't find a gym like mine in a small town.
No,
look, we only have a podcast to plug your guys.
Yeah,
right.
But you won't find a gym like my gym in a small town.
Yeah.
For one, it's not financially smart because there's not enough money coming in to support it.
Right.
And two, no one's going to buy that quality of equipment, that much equipment, for a sport that is an unpaid sport just because they're passionate.
Right.
It's not going to happen unless you're just a millionaire and you have that shit. But,
right. Which is what you are.
Yeah. When I get there one day to be a millionaire, I will own a couple of them maybe.
Yeah, I competed. This was just before the C word. I don't want to get Devin all riled up again, but
My bad, guys.
I competed and in Minneapolis, and the next day we were going home, so we have to head north. But I drove south to Twin City Barbells to train the day after competition at Twin City Barbells.
Just to get the experience.
Just like the Dominga family was there, and Joe Gross was there, and the whole Twin City Barbells team, which if you're a power lifter in that region of the U.S., you would know them. Or if you're a Manitoban, whoever leaves.
I never went there, but I've seen you guys post about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the training experience was just like I did a bench only, then I went and benched the next day just to be like, if I get one tip from this, it's worth the drive and it's worth the experience.
How far of a drive was that?
Probably a half hour.
So prime example of that. What you just said is what I always said after me and you've had this discussion. If I can get one tip. So we had, let's not to plug, but we had Brickhouse bring in Dan Green a couple years ago. You brought in Allison Lockhart. And then we also brought in Terry Rady. Yeah. Or you did, not we. You brought him in. What the fuck is it?
Thank you.
You brought him in. Yeah.
By you, he means Iron Age.
Iron Age.
1493 Iron Street.
At Iron Age. Check it out.
Strength, Chud Life, Tyler Colton, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know people in our sport of strongman, in our sport of powerlifting, who are like, well, I'm not paying $70 for the seminar, and sitting there because it's $70, but they literally will go buy cheeseburgers every day and all this shit, and I'm like, the seminar with Allison and with Terry, I said I will pay, and maybe I'm just a little more lenient with my money, but I will pay $300 or $400 to get one tip that'll change my lifting. Yeah, because I've been doing this shit long enough. I've been lifting for 15 years. I've been lifting the same rough. If I can learn one more thing, for one, I'd be pissed I didn't learn it 15 years ago. If I can learn one more thing, I would pay a lot of money. If you would come give me a tip and you'd say, hey, Devin, I'm going to give you a tip today that'll change the way you bench. And I'm chasing a 500 bench still, right? Yeah. It'll change the way you bench and get you there.
So you're not there yet.
Yeah.
It feels good when you do it.
Oh, sorry, I should have said 500 raw. It's like saying I can jump 6 feet, but I'm jumping. You're on a trampoline. But I would pay that guy $500 for that tip all day long.
Yeah.
So I went to Dan Green's seminar there. I went to Terry Raddy's and I went to Alice Lockhart, and I learned something from each of them. I learned a couple things. I took notes, and the wife took notes, and I can read hers because I can't read my own writing.
You could have stopped it. I can't read.
Yeah, I can't look at the same word. It's weird. Like I read from both ends. Yeah. And,
Devin has 2 monitors, but it's not for the same reason most people do.
But I learned so much that A, I translated through to my clients that has benefited them huge, and B, has changed things I've been doing wrong for 13, 14, 15 years. And I don't understand people who are like, oh, I'm going to compete in strongman, I'm going to compete in powerlifting, I'm going to compete in these sports, and I want to be the best. Oh, and they hashtag on their Instagram, shit, next world's strongest man, or dedicated, or back to the grind, or all this other bullshit, but they won't. I would do some dirty shit for the money if I didn't have it, just to go learn those tips if I'm actually serious about the sport. And I'm not even that great. I never even made it pro like you did. My goal was always to, but I'm just too mentally deranged to make it for some reason. And I still spend that money because I still want to learn, even if it's not going to benefit me. It'll. If I caught something in that seminar that helped you that you didn't catch, because we often train together and we just bounce tips off when we're training, and it helped you do better, that's worth the money to me.
Yeah,
and that's the thing too. Like we talked about before, about when you reached out to McDowell, was like, hey, like I can't afford this, but I really want to do something, and you made it happen. He made it happen too, right?
Yeah.
Where it's the same deal. And to be clear, I'm not talking about somebody who's like, I'm bad with my money and that's why I don't have money for this. But if someone's like, hey, truly, like I want to take part in this seminar, maybe if they're like a student or whatever it might be. However, we had plenty of students who came to it and paid for it. But I'm saying if that was the case and someone was like, I really want to take in this seminar, and I'm being 100% real with you, that I cannot afford it.
Yeah.
Like you gave out a couple free.
I offered a couple free ones.
Yes,
yeah,
and some people came.
Some people took them up on.
Yeah, that actually needed them. I think there's 1 or 2 people that actually needed it.
Yeah, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about somebody where it's like, oh, I went on vacation last month and now I don't have any money for it or whatever. But it's much more important to me that somebody comes and gets better. Like the reason that we brought in Terry Rady, and I'll tell you, we lost money on that seminar. We did not make any money on that. We had a flight rescheduling that we had to do that really fucked us on that one. Yeah. So we didn't make any money on it, but the thing was that everybody who came there, I feel very confident that if we brought Terry Rady back again in 2 months from now, everybody who was at that seminar would come again, because he taught so much in that short period that was so valuable. And that's really what's more important to me. And it sounds very self-righteous and very preachy, whatever, but it's really more important to me that Manitoba Strongman gets better.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets a little better, so that when we show up to nationals, or say like when one of my guys comes, like one of my guys got an invite to the pro show today. When he goes to that pro show, he has something that's going to make him better. That's going to help him, whatever. And I don't give a shit about if I make $30 or $100 or lose $50 on a seminar, or lose $1,000 or what, it wasn't $1,000, but lose some money on a seminar. I truly don't care, as long as there's like a net positive to it. You know what I mean?
So going back to what you said in our last episode we had, back to you and Swint, or you and your guys in your gym not agreeing on politics or whatever else, but still getting the task done at hand. Terry came out, obviously, with me being where I am in my political view, I didn't agree with all his politics that he posts. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
He's very vocal about it.
He's very strong in his opinions, and I'm very strong in my opinions.
Right.
I didn't agree with half of what he posts politically, but I knew his knowledge of strength training was superior to mine.
Right.
I don't care. So if I can use him and learn some knowledge, I don't care. We're not talking politics.
Right, exactly.
But I know people who literally won't go to the seminars based on what that guy posts.
Yeah.
Or not him particularly, but what people post, they won't go.
That's like dumb, very dumb shit.
Yeah, and I don't get that. Put that shit aside.
Yeah.
And let's just get better. We just won't talk about those topics. Like I had you out at my cabin a couple weeks ago, and we sat down and drank, and us and the wives and talked for hours. Longest I've drank and talked for in a long time.
Yeah.
We have differing views on certain topics.
Yeah.
Still doesn't mean that we're actually real. Well, I think we're good for you, my friend.
Yeah, we're friends.
We're friends?
Yeah. Yeah, we're buddies.
Okay.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, we know each other for sure.
I am soft-hearted. So
Yeah.
I like to drive my sled.
Yeah, I know,
It's
it was
an
great.
old
It was
one,
fun.
but I mean,
Shot your gun.
yeah, I do. He's Jan.
Do you remember when we shot together? And we were trying to one-hand the shotgun? And
I did it with Jan.
You did it, and I really regret not trying it myself.
So
too.
Jan had never shot a gun in her life, and I'm like, well, I got guns everywhere. Guns at cabin, guns at home, I got guns everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, you got to shoot.
I got guns in my car.
Yeah.
I got
And
guns in my person.
right. Yeah. Anyways, about that, Jan had never shot a gun. And I'm like, oh, we're in my cabin, wherever it is, and it's just crown line passage. So we literally walk off my driveway, and I'm like, oh, I got a 12 gauge. And I should have just thrown a slug in it, because it would have blown. It almost knocked her on her ass.
Yeah.
Like she stumbled back. But she went and she pulled the trigger. I'm like, okay, just hold it tight, and it launched her back. But she took 2 steps back.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you shot it, and then I did the one-handed shot. Because I've done one-handed skeet shooting. I haven't actually hit the skeets. I'll do, or 2 shotguns. I'll take one each hand and shoot them out. Yeah, that gets a little gnarly on the finger sometimes.
That's good.
I remember the first time.
Where did we go shooting?
Your old place.
We went to my father-in-law's.
Is that where it was?
I think it was, in the country, yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
we had the goats. Did we have goats then?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You blow up a goat or what?
And Devin and I,
Not enough sand.
for the most part, we've always kind of been neck and neck strength-wise.
Me and you?
Pretty close.
Yeah, our
with
benches
everything.
are always.
Yeah.
We always said we're both stuck to bench only comps for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So are we gonna actually chase 500?
what's that?
Are we chasing 500 raw?
I would have to start taking my training a lot more serious.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So we're shooting the, what are they called?
Shotgun. Skeets.
The skeets.
Yeah.
So we're shooting the skeets, and it's cool and it's fun. And then Devin single hands it,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, well, if Devin can do it, I can do it.
That's. I didn't do it, and I was like, God, I'm such a fucking pussy. Like, why didn't I fucking do it, man? Like, he did it right in front of my girlfriend and everything. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Such a bitch.
Dude, it was horrible
100%,
because
right?
I did that in front of Jan, and boom, suddenly we had to skate home.
Yeah, and I'm just like
Just,
using like
it was just ice everywhere.
I'm using 2 hands, like, this doesn't hurt me.
And so I try it, and it cocked my wrist down so hard.
Oh yeah.
The kickback, and cocked my wrist down. It was so bad, and I was like humiliated. And I think that's like a friendly competition thing,
Oh yeah, for sure.
where you're just like, well, I train alongside these guys.
Yeah.
If they can do it, I can do it.
Sure.
And then it's just like, I still think about it. It's been a decade, and I still think about it. You know what I mean? Because you're just like it.
Do you remember the time we did some hand pads at my gym for boxing?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, did that exhaust me?
He's like, I'll fight anybody. I'm like, I know, but I'm gonna teach some boxing. Do some hand pads. Like, just the defeated look on his face, the coordination when you learn actual boxing. I'm like, I don't know if I should keep doing this to this guy. The shooting, the boxing.
Yeah. There's yeah. I think that's a mentality that we develop, though, for better or for worse. That.
Well, it's the only form of dick measuring I'm ever doing with you guys.
Yeah.
I tried boxing one time.
Devin's the only guy that I can't kiss because our stomachs touch before anything else touches.
It's like the definition of disappointment, right?
Yeah.
Running in the wall with a boner, hitting your nose first.
Yeah.
I tried boxing one time, and then the guy who was coaching said that I was like getting so fatigued, like doing like the stupid like punching drills and stuff. It's like the whole thing, like the stupid punching.
The worst part about boxing is the punching.
Yeah, but I was getting all
So tired of
fatigued.
this boxing bullshit.
And the guy was like, you know what? Like, you honestly, like, your arms are just too big. Like, you're gonna have to, like, you'd have to lose some of the size in your arms. And I was like,
thank you.
motherfucker. First of all, yeah, thank you. Second of all, I'm out of this bitch. Like, I'm never doing this again.
And now my ego, even though I just failed,
Yeah,
is here.
exactly. I was doing
Yeah.
poorly,
That's
but
what
now
you
I
do.
know it's because I'm so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's literally where you grew a fucking
Yeah,
inch.
exactly. Yeah,
Your head
yeah,
just went,
yeah. I was
No.
like, I'm bad at boxing, but it's really not my fault because I'm just too fucking yoked.
Excuse me.
shit.
Forget punching. Can we talk about slapping?
Sure.
That slapping contest?
Well, let's go to something else before that.
Oh, okay.
So, probably 2016, I'd say. Tyler and I lived together.
Holy shit.
It was
It was not a nice place.
it was not
Sounds
a
like
nice place.
Sounds like a sorority house.
It was like in a very nice neighborhood.
Yep.
It was on
Was.
Bowl. It was
Bowl.
like right by. It was a street away from Osborne Village. So it
Was
was
a
like
nice neighborhood.
No, it's nicer now. Like it's like I'm sure they probably kicked the
'Cause
crackheads
you
out of
guys
it.
left.
Yeah, we were the
Tyler and I were the prize
yeah
tenants.
by far we were
Yeah.
the nice, we were the easiest people that guy had to deal
I
with.
never knew you guys lived together.
We lived together on Bowl, and it was every other house in that area had been like renovated to be like easily like a $2,000 a month rent place because
Yeah.
it was just like balconies on rooftops and like
Yeah.
beautiful
I think it's
character
called
homes.
If I'm correct, it's gentrification. They come in there.
My
That's the
brother-in-law
word.
own- my brother-in-law
No, it's
owns
the
a
real
house
estate
across
stuff.
the street,
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's like he has there's a main floor, a second floor, and a third floor, and he rents them all out.
Yeah.
And it's like $2,000 each.
yeah.
Couple houses over was his buddy who lived in the main floor, rented and then Tyler and I had this house right by the back alley. and we were on the second floor.
It was like $600 was our rent. Like split. Like we
Split.
split $600 between us.
Split, which we thought was like, this is fantastic, right?
What a deal we found here.
Yeah. Especially a couple guys who spent all their money on training.
Yeah.
Right? This was
It
great.
was close to the gym too, which was nice.
Close to the gym. We both had our own space.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I get it. He's blocking the heater.
That's why.
Tyler and I had bounced together, so we had both seen each other kind of in action.
Yeah.
Not as aggressive when we're bouncing, but sometimes things happen, and that's that. Whatever. But there was a night where I'm lying in bed, and I can hear some ruckus outside. And then the floor above me, I can hear Tyler, and he's like getting worked up. And then I hear feet like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I throw on some basketball shorts and a hoodie because I'm just like, if my guy goes out, we're going out together. Like, I don't care what the situation is. He's not going out alone.
Yeah.
And he's already like downstairs and outside. And I'm like chasing after because I'm just like, that's my guy. And it was two guys and a girl.
So for context, when I was looking, so my window upstairs looked right over our parking spots, and there was always these people. So the basement were like literal crackheads, and I'm not saying that to be funny, like that's what they were.
Yeah.
And then there was
that's another good story. Actually.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. So then there's the middle floor, which was like scummy partiers.
He still lives there, by the way.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
So
he peaked at that place.
Like they were like they're part like they were people. They weren't like the people in the basement. Like they were actual people, but they were just always fucking partying. So we went to park in our spot, and there was a car there. So I was like, well, whatever. Like we'll just park them in, and they can figure it out in the morning. Like it's tired. I'm tired. I want to get out of here. So my ex or my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, there's some noise outside by my car. So I go and look, and somebody is. It looks like they're kind of like walking around the car doing something. But what they're doing is they're keying her car. And I look, and they're like, they pull off her license plate and throw it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so that's when I was finally like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was probably like audibly yelling at that point, like, what the fuck is going on down there? So I'm like going down, there's like down my stairs to get to where Beeks lives. And then there's downstairs again to get to the main floor. So I'm just like fucking getting down there as fast as I can. And then that's where Beeks came in.
So I follow him outside, and there's these two guys and this woman. And Tyler's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Whatever. Probably more colorful language. And this guy kind of gave you attitude back.
Yeah.
And Tyler and I are twice the size of both the guys put together.
Yeah.
But the guy didn't really back down. But your typical, maybe it happens everywhere, but definitely Winnipeg, he's walking away and chirping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he's blah, 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 blah. And we're walking and following him down the back alley.
Because we wanted to get the car damage figured out, to be clear.
Yeah.
We weren't following to be antagonistic. Yes.
You wanted his driver's license.
His information, yes.
And his license plate, of course.
Yeah.
Where his keys for the car came from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Very, very calm.
Yeah, very common thing to do.
And we ended up on River Avenue, which in that area is one of the busier streets. Not super busy, but especially at that time, but I don't remember what led to it, but I was behind Tyler. I was just there for their sake, but
Write down the info.
yeah. I had
As
my
a witness, honestly.
And
at
this
point,
guy was trying to walk to his car to get his.
He was trying to walk away, and I was saying, you're not fucking going anywhere because we're figuring out the damage to this car before you go anywhere.
Yeah.
And he was trying to walk away. He had his case of beer under his arm, and he was just trying to get the fuck out of there. And an interesting part of it was
finish the story because I don't want to say anything.
No, yeah. There's the woman who was there just to add to the whole chaos of all this shit was deaf. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, what? Like she has like no idea what I'm saying to her, right? And like she's, making the noises that deaf people make, whatever. And she's like doing her thing.
Like what?
She's just
I don't know.
Yeah, she was just like, I can't hear you. So, the noises deaf people make.
Those noises. Yeah.
She's like, what? I can't hear what you're. Anyway, but in all honesty, I was trying to be like, listen, you're not fucking going anywhere until we figure this out. And he's trying to just kind of like leave it all on this other lady, whatever. And so he turns around and finally is like trying to bow up on me a little bit. And he gets in my face and he puts his hand on me. So that's when I clapped him. Like I never throw a punch. I'm not gonna break my fucking hand on some waste of space's face, right? So I gave him a little.
It's like an Eminem line.
Just
Waste of space's face.
just the Mennonite backhander.
I gave him a tap, so there's just so he would get, because he would put his hands on me. That's to get him to stop. And so he went down, and then I'm holding him on the ground, whatever. And my girlfriend at the time is like, she's like calling 911 because she's like, this is getting kind of chaotic and crazy and violent now. And she's like, she probably says the worst thing that she probably could have said, which is, my boyfriend is going to kill this guy if you don't get over here right now. And so I was like, and I turned around, I'm like, why did you tell them that? Like, why was that the fucking whatever? So the cops ended up coming it's like time passes, and I'm like, just get the fuck out of here.
It was like
whatever.
3 hours later.
It was like, because I was leaving for Thunder Bay to wrestle, and I was on the road to Thunder Bay by the time that they fucking got there.
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, whatever. So that's, but there is a funny ending that I like to include in the story too. So we ended up going to, like, the police came, blah blah blah, go to court, get all the damages figured out. This fucking deaf lady has to like pay for it all. And so when did you have to go to court?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so we went to court, and the lady is giving her through a translator is giving her rendition of what happened or whatever. So he's talking, and he's like, listen, like, our clients were afraid. Like, they saw these two guys come downstairs. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're these two large, muscular, intimidating men, blah, blah, blah. So that moment just stuck in my head. And then so when we were leaving the courthouse, I said to my girlfriend at the time, I was like, just so you know, it's actually like a matter of public court record now that I'm fucking jacked. So so that cannot be disputed. That is in the record
Between
now.
boxing and the judge, I'm a large motherfucker.
Exactly, yeah. Everybody knows it now.
But when Tyler clapped that guy, in my life, I've seen enough fights. I've never seen someone dropped by a slap before. And I laughed in the moment.
Yeah.
It was kind of heated, and Tyler and I were both upset, and I didn't even know why I was upset, but my friend's upset, so I'm upset.
Yeah.
You know, by association. But he clapped that guy, and the guy just dropped. And I was like, wow. Right? Wow. Buckled in the middle of river. Cars stopped. Yeah. I remember that. And then years later, this whole slapping thing.
The slap, yeah.
The slap competition. And you always cross my mind, because I'm like, I've never seen a more powerful
slap.
And you are very smart for a guy who, you make your living with your hands. You train. Mm-hmm. You train people. You train yourself. You don't want to break your hand throwing a punch.
No. I bounced for 10 years almost, and I never threw a punch once.
Yeah.
Never.
I have. But anytime I see those highlights, I think of you and that night where that guy just buckled, and I'm like, if I know anyone,
I just think of all the concussion you've had, and I'm like, yeah.
What?
When I see those highlights of slapping, I
What?
just think of your concussion. I was like, this is CT, and
I know that people like to be like, oh, this is setting back mixed martial arts or whatever. I think that shit's fucking awesome. I love watching.
See,
that
I really
stuff.
don't care.
And I'm not a mixed martial arts fan, so maybe that's why.
But get in there, it's like when you go to sports and drugs or everything else. If you want to take them, you know the consequences.
Yeah.
If you're gonna walk up to the table and get slapped by another grown ass man his size, and I would be the guy down if Tyler said, "Hey, we're gonna do a slapping competition." I ain't backing down. Fucking, I'll slap you.
I've spent a few nights with my girlfriend just sitting and watching those
slapping each other.
Yeah, just slapping the shit out of each other. Yeah. I know.
She's like 3 feet tall.
I love watching that stuff. I really do. I think it's such an entertaining sport.
The guy with the all black contacts.
Yeah, he gets clapped. That guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've often fantasized, because the thing is that I would never recover if I got knocked out in my own gym, but I would love to do something like that, just as because I think that Dan could knock me out. So I don't want to do it.
You think so?
I think he could.
Really?
He's fought. He's actually Dan's like a short, stout kind of guy, but he's had fights in the past, and he's
what kind of fights? Sorry,
kickboxing, I think.
Really?
He said he did some kickboxing. Yeah.
I can't remember if it's MMA or kickboxing. I think it's kickboxing.
I don't love that. He's a strong, stout guy.
Yeah.
And if he has some kickboxing,
that's
terrifying.
Throw some hands too. Yeah. So I think that would be the problem, is that if I got knocked out by him, I'm like, well, now it's Dan's gym. and I can't I can't have that. So
I've said that numerous times with Jimmy Yari and all the guys. Like, I'll fight all of you.
yeah,
Like, and I'll win.
yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit what I got to do. I'm gonna
Yeah,
win.
there's a couple guys in my gym that I think that if they had half a chance, they could knock me out. There's a couple guys who've had there's another guy who's had kickboxing fights, and he's 2 inches taller than me, and he's
Swint's a boxer.
he can Swint's a boxer too. Like there's enough guys in there.
Sorry, Swint's boxing?
Whoa, come on. Chris, I really hope you listen to this, and I love you to death, but
Swint, for what it's worth, I think you're a boxer.
that's because his reach is twice as long as yours. Did you get inside?
My wife's reach is twice as long as mine. Back to the unicorn.
Yeah.
There's enough guys in my gym that could potentially knock me out that I wouldn't be able to do something like that.
And so until it happens, you are the big dog.
But that's what. Well, let's do a deadlift competition. I'll win that motherfucker. Like that's something
For a
like.
couple
Actually, that's not true. Thrones
I was gonna say for a couple more months, maybe.
yeah, Thrones might beat me in that too.
You guys both know
Do a pause front squat. No one ain't beating you on that.
No one's beat me that shit.
Yeah.
Zerker. I'm on a big Zerker kick right
Are you
now.
really?
Atlas
Yeah.
Stones.
Yeah, there's a few things that I could pull out of the hat if I had to.
Yeah, the only thing I've got in my back pocket is I can somehow pull out a bench in short notice.
Yeah.
I came to your bench today. Wasn't you supposed to compete?
Yeah.
Hey, we do a bench cut. I'm like, I'm not competing. I haven't trained. I show up. I'm like, oh, I should really get in on this competition. Because I can just see those people at bench. I'm like, oh man, yeah. So I've got some torn up shoulders and arthritis in both, and tendonitis. Like, who gives a shit? And I'm going. I haven't benched.
Who gives a shit for a prestigious gym lift like this?
I got to this competition, win the whole thing without training. I'm like, still got it.
Yeah.
Don't know what I got.
Go over
Still
to
got it.
icing both your shoulders. Like, yep.
Dude, I
still
was
got it.
screwed for a week.
Yeah.
Can't train for a week afterwards. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Papa still got it.
Eliminate every lift on Earth except for one. You can only do one lift for the rest of your life.
Deadlift.
What would it be?
Deadlift.
Deadlift?
Probably Kegels.
Some pussy
You have a
tightening.
tight butthole.
I pride myself on that.
Yeah. It's really
I didn't know.
stretchy.
Sorry, I didn't know we were being funny on that. I gave a real answer, and I.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that either.
I
But
didn't know we were being funny either. No, if I had to get one lift, I used to love bench, and I still love bench. But bench always came naturally to me. And I had to actually train for bench this past year to get my bench built back up, and it's not back to where it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it frustrated me for the first time in my life that I didn't want to bench. I really enjoy overhead press, but I would say, I'd probably still go back to bench press. Yeah.
I was always good at bench, even in university. Short arms and a big chest. I was just always good at bench, but it sounds silly. But GHR, I think
Weighted GHR?
any type of GHR. I love glute ham raise. I think it's great for the knees.
You still got a GHR sitting on my place you're supposed to grab.
I thought you were dropping it off.
Yeah, probably.
We'll discuss that when we're off air because the glute ham raise
Still
and the
sitting
reverse
outside ready
hyper.
to get loaded, yeah.
Yeah.
They're both sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sold them 2 months ago.
Yes. And both of those, you're like, yeah, my guy's going to load them up in the truck and bring them down. They never did, and I didn't want to bug you.
That's a valid observation.
And that being said, if it wasn't the GHR, it'd be the reverse hyper. Those two movements, I think, for posture and just functional, I love them both.
Yeah.
As a pretty good bench presser, nothing elite, but pretty good bench presser, I never enjoyed it. I was just good at it, so I leaned into that. But I don't know. I guess it's fun, but it's so cliche.
The bench, yeah.
You meet someone in the gym, or people look at any of the three of us, and they know we lift. The first question's always, what do you
bench? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I always lie.
For sure.
What the fuck do you know what I bench?
Yeah.
500.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do? You get a check? You can ask for a video?
I always lie to I tell them what Tyler benches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now, I have such a love affair with Zerker squats.
Oh, yeah.
And starting from the bottom,
Like starting off the racks? Or off the safeties?
scooping off scooping it from the bottom, and like 365 for a single right now. I really want to get over 400.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how you know you're.
And Devin's gonna do it by the end of the month. And be like, guess what I did?
Well, I'm not
like,
training for anything right now, so I mean,
Yeah.
what height are we talking? What depth?
Like an inch below my knees.
Oh, so low.
So a foot and a
Really
half.
low.
Yeah.
Foot.
9
inches.
We'll measure our knees. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
below your knees. The bar is.
What's that?
The bar is an inch below your kneecap.
Yeah.
wow.
So pretty much almost like an 18-inch deadlift.
I guess so. Yeah.
Pantam style.
I guess so. Yeah.
What does that mean, Brett Ham style?
He loves 18.
Oh, he goes to that. Oh, okay.
That was his claim to fame. Man.
Was it okay?
765, 18-inch deadlift. Yeah.
Yeah. But it would be JHR. Anna used to joke that anyone could come to me with any problem, and my cure was the JHR.
Well, you literally told me that when I said, "Hey, I got these two machines."
There you go. I don't know what story he's telling.
I told him that a little while. I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm getting rid of my GHR and my reverse hyper because I bought new ones, the double from Bell's Steel." And I'm like, I wanted to offer them to you guys first because I got them from them. And I'm like, I
You
want to offer
have
them to
the
you guys
best
first.
GHR I've ever used.
Yeah. And he's like, I want it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even looking for money. I'm looking for X amount of money. It's a low dollar amount. I'm like, I'm not looking to profit. I got these given to me at a low rate. You're getting them at a low rate. And he's like, no. I'm like, and I'll even deliver them. Fuck, I did say that.
Yes.
Got you, motherfucker.
I'll even deliver them for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. My bad. Yep, I'll bring him in. I'll load up the enclosed trailer. Son of a gun.
Well, that's an hour there if we want to think we'll wrap up.
Let's go into a couple questions.
Yeah, we never got into our
We
questions.
got a couple
We
questions.
never got into our mentors either. It's literally an hour of bullshit in here.
If you've been listening, thank you very, very much. Three idiots just kind of bouncing stories off each other. We don't aim to be overly educative.
No.
We want to tell a couple jokes, tell a couple stories. If you learn something from this, all the better. But we are going to weekly give you a chance to ask some questions, and we will share some knowledge with you, whether it's silly or very serious. But we are a training podcast, and
That's not what we're going to answer, but
okay.
it just sums up our...
Jeez. Okay, we're going to skip the first question.
Just look at this
Well, we behaved ourselves, so none is the answer.
Yeah. If your name starts with J and you sent in a question, we behaved ourselves.
Yeah, so we got a couple questions here. We got some that are they sent around certain things. So first question that really stuck out to me is Patrick Gregoire gay?
Yes.
And that's a solid yes.
Yeah, he is.
Look at his hair.
And that's fine. He's
He's 5'5". He's
Yeah.
at the perfect height for doing what he
yeah,
needs to do.
he's extremely jacked.
Yeah, and I've seen the way he can rotate his wrists.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the guy's got movement.
So we all agree, yes?
Yeah, Pat's gay.
Bird's eye view.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You've seen him rotate.
You might even look up at it for Tyler.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eye contact.
So yeah, Pat's gay.
Eye contact is so key.
Yeah, it is. It's very important.
See, I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, unless there's two of them.
Yeah. Which has never happened.
Devin Penner owns the gangbang. You can look at everybody at once.
Quick off-topic thing. I went to fucking Famous Players one time. I got stuck in the front row. You can't fit that screen
That's
into one eye.
horrible. Yeah.
You can't fit that screen into
No.
one eye.
No.
Doing this.
He's like darting back and forth.
Yeah.
Watching Avatar, like, whoa.
If I'm not behind that front walkway, I leave.
With only seeing one eye, I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's horrible. All right.
That would be really funny, though, to see you with like the 3D glasses on, just like, whoa, looking around. Like,
Do we want
Spider-Man Multiverse was great, but my neck is so sore.
Okay, so we have one about ice baths. I don't know if you guys want to touch on that topic.
we want to do a serious one? Sure, we can do a serious one.
Okay, so I have a guy who asked.
I'm going to ask about your otter box. It's been through it.
It's a second phone. And this thing, last phone I dropped in this case broke into. I don't know why I'm using it. Is ice bath a new trend or is it actually beneficial? Because I don't think anyone did that 20 plus years ago, give or take. It really became popular besides Hoffman there. Who's really popularized it. But
I'll start by saying
Wim Hof
that you
method.
shouldn't necessarily base what you do based on what people were doing in the past. So if someone wasn't doing something 20 years ago, does not mean that you should or shouldn't do it now.
Exactly, yep.
But I get I understand the point of it is that it's something that people have gotten by without doing for a long time. For my money, no, it's not worth anything. If you're an endurance athlete, maybe, but I don't think we're talking to any endurance athletes. If you're a strength athlete or like someone who's chasing hypertrophy, it's proven to be negative for both of those things. I think that if you go to it with the intention of like building like your mental toughness, like your willpower, maybe that's something. No. But I think that you have to go into it with the intention of like knowing what you're using it for. And I know that there's people who will be like, oh, you can use it for recovery, blah blah blah. But if you're using it for recovery and it's negatively affecting the things that you're training for, why would you do it when there's other things like maybe a nap or eating better? Like
sauna, hot tub is proven.
There you go. So if someone's like sitting in
increased blood flow,
if you're doing this cold therapy thing, you better be sleeping 8 hours a night. You better be getting all your meals in. You better be hydrating and better be trying to find that one last little thing to fill in that last crack, because I doubt very much that the people who are posting on Instagram being like, ooh, here's me in my chilly little bath. Yeah. They probably aren't doing all those things.
So I've done some ice bathing with my pool actually this last year when the ice came in. The pool was 34.
His penis never recovered.
Crazy. Hey, but now my wife feels like she's being with two different men. One that was below average and one that was above the average of a smaller person.
Might not be long, but it sure is skinny.
But I did contrast because I have my hot tub in my pool, and we did it. We did 3 minutes in the hot tub, 1 minute in the pool at 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's zero. I dove into the pool and someone punched me in this. I literally thought someone punched me in the head in that cold water. But I did that back and forth. We did that 3 times. 3 minutes, 1, 3 minutes, 1, 3 minutes, 1. I did that 3 different nights. And no science proven here, but I would say a 50% reduction in my pain in my back and my legs the next day. So I struggled with some injuries that have been laying me for a couple of years. So I did know. So now on the hypertrophy standpoint, I've read some studies and seen some stuff that it's not good for hypertrophy. It's not good for strength training athletes to recover, especially post-workout. As guys think post-workout, let's jump in there. And the purpose of post-workout is you want to get blood flowing, keep blood flowing to the muscles. You don't want to restrict it with what cold does. You don't want to lower the inflammation in a sense. So I noticed that, but I wasn't also giving a shit about hypertrophy or strength training. I was just going for the sheer effect of I need to get the pain down without using painkillers. Yeah. And that it did help me with.
Yeah. It's something that I've also like gotten like more accustomed to is like, if you like to do it, then just fucking do it.
The placebo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
the placebo. If it works for you, do it.
Yeah. Like I'm never gonna sit there and argue with somebody who's like, well, I like it. It's like, well, then great, you should do it. Yeah. Like I really don't care anymore. Like I'm way past the point of trying to convince somebody who's not me or one of my athletes what's good for them. So if someone's like, you know what, I really love doing it, then I'd be like, hey, you should do it. Yeah. You know.
The last time I did ice baths was when I was playing football. And it's the dog days of summer, and you have 2-a-days, and you're out on the field for 5 hours, but you have like a 2-hour break between practices. An ice bath was an absolute savior.
So guys were using that between competitions too, and it did help slow down the inflammation and slow down the injuries.
So I'll reiterate what both of you have said. Depending on what you're using it for, there's a time and a place for it. Because you go out on that second practice and you're like, my knees and ankles aren't absolutely killing me. Yeah. That is absolutely fantastic. If you're training for hypertrophy, it's not ideal. And I think with social media now, people will make a statement that kind of blankets everything about training. Yeah. And you have to do your own research to be... To figure out if it's right for you.
Absolutely every person online is talking about their crowd, their audience. Yeah. So if you're watching Dave Tate, he's giving advice for powerlifters. He's mostly, like, unless he specifies, he's not giving advice for your aunt who's trying to get into shape. Yeah. It's the same thing if you listen to a guy who's talking about bodybuilding. He's probably talking about advice for bodybuilders. So
you listen to Fuad Bede's podcast is going to be relative to bodybuilding.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave Tate, like table talk, it's relative to conjugate and
it's worth trying to read between the lines and realize like, oh, he might not be talking to me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Which I think is like a really lost thing for a lot of people too, where they listen to, you know, whoever the hell it might be. I don't even know, but it's like they say, well, this guy says this, and it's like, well, is it possible that you're not the demographic that he's talking about? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
So we got. I'll see if we answer one more serious one, and then we'll do a different one, but. So I know this guy's competing in the Strongman comps coming up. So this is legit what he'll be doing anyways. But he asked, and you'll be better at this because I've never done harsh water cuts.
Well, keep in mind I'm pretty stupid.
That's a valid observation here. Shit. What is your preferred method of water cutting, and then what you do to reload the lost water after weigh-ins? So I haven't had to come across it. I did a water cut a bit for nationals, but I just ran the simple. I didn't have to IV or not. I just did some Pedialyte and rehydrated really well. I didn't cut much.
So with the water cut, and I did this for Worlds, overload on your water, absolute overload. And then you're gonna get your body to a point where you're like, I have no other choice but to piss this out.
Yeah.
And then you sauna it out. I was in Portugal, and I just ran my shower at full heat, and I blocked the windows and the door, and turned my bathroom into a steam room, and I sweated out, and then I went to weigh-ins, and then you want your electrolytes, like a Pedialyte or whatever you can get your hands on. It's hard when you're in another country because you don't really know what you can get your hands on.
For sure.
All that being said, personally, I'm not a huge fan of cutting.
Yeah.
I think you should train within like a 5-10 pound, even not 10's too big. I think you should train within like a 3 to 5 pound range of what you're going to compete in. And I've always felt better doing that.
I think unless you're going for a world record, there's no point doing a massive cut.
Yeah.
I've done cuts for some titles that had some value to me.
Yeah.
But I believe if you're doing a drastic water cut, unless it's for a world record or it's like some sort of record that you're chasing that's actually a legit record, to put your body through it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that are, but I mean, Thrones is good at water.
So I've never done I've done like the most minor one when I was.
Cut weight?
No, I was like barely over when I did the 121 time in 2016. And that was the last time that when I it was such a fucking like last minute nightmare because I was proper weight and then from the drive.
At 262 pounds?
264 and I showed up at like 270
Yeah.
or something stupid like that. So it was just like, I was like, that was my last time. I was like, fuck it, I'm never trying to stay inside a weight class again because it just wasn't worth the pain in the ass. But yeah, I would tend to agree that like, let's say if someone's asking you on there, and I'm assuming that they're doing one of our competitions, really ask yourself like, why are you cutting? Like, what's it like? Is it your first year? Is it your first competition? Is it your first couple years? Like, are you really trying to be like, let's think, who's like the really popular U90 strong? Oh yeah, there are none. So it's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. Show up how you're going to show up and compete at your very best instead of trying to be like, oh, I really hope that I can recover from this weight cut that I did for a fucking, a regional qualifier or whatever. It's just not worth it ultimately in my mind. That being said, if you are ready to be taking that next step, if you are thinking about like, listen, this is the year that I want to go to nationals and then I want to get my pro status and whatever, then there are safe ways to do it. And I would recommend if you like, whoever might be asking, like you find somebody who you trust and somebody that you can work with and somebody who can.
So if you can't afford a coach, let's just say, or it's just not in your budget, whatever it is, there's great articles. I'm going to give you're still coached with him, and I was coached. Tom Hibbert has some great articles in a water cut. His protocol, I've read it over numerous times because I was looking at it. Really good protocol. Dan Green has some influence on protocols too. He's done for water cuts. These guys all put their protocols out there to a degree. Stan Efferding has one in his vertical diet book that I've read numerous times. That's a pretty good protocol there.
J.M. Blakely has a book about
J.M.
it.
Blakely, and Chris Duffin.
Yeah.
He has he's done the most drastic weight cut I've ever heard of, but he has some info on his too. So there is those resources there. You might spend a couple bucks on some books, but Tom Hibbert's is actually free on his website. He's got a water cutting protocol that works really well, so I would say look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think Tyler. Yep. I think Tyler made the best point, and I'll double down. Is that strongman, powerlifting? We're doing adult recreation sports. Don't put your body through hell, for a plastic trophy.
No.
No.
If you, I mean, well,
you don't want to spend. I don't. Physio?
I was gonna say that's.
You don't want to do physio every
that is
last
kind of
4 years?
part of the name of the game, unfortunately. You know what I mean, to a certain degree. But don't put it through unnecessary torture.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like
value what that trophy means to you.
Yeah, but you're going to damage yourself in some capacity. That's just the way this. Like if you do it for any length of time, whatever. But like Beak said, is like just choose what's important enough for you. Like really be real with yourself. Like do you really care that much? Like do you? Because like some people do. And whatever, that's great. But like, do you? Like, does the person who's saying I need to do a water cut, like next year, are you going to care as much as you care this year?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's worth asking yourself those things.
Yeah.
We can save the rest of the questions for next time, Sue.
Yeah,
Got more?
we'll have more questions next week. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We're 2 episodes in.
Yep.
I'm having an absolute blast.
Yeah, I
Thank
really
you
enjoyed
guys
this.
for this.
I couldn't think of something better. To do.
Thank you, anyone who's listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means the absolute world to us. We're hoping to bring you a ton of great content and a few laughs and a little bit of information. And check us out. Tell your friends.
Yep,
Yeah,
share
be a
on
friend. Tell a
Instagram.
friend.
Yep. Every sharing is what gets us our value, right? Share it with your friends. You enjoyed it. Share it. Let people know. Gets more people over to our pages.
Yep.
Gets more people hearing our bullshit.
And if you don't, we're bigger and stronger than you, so we'll beat you up.
Beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Tyler claps people. So. All right.
So we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Cool.